RPG fan, 2025 is shaping up to be the kind of year we dream about. Seriously, the sheer number of games on the way is quite staggering. We already had a banger half of the year. We have now reached that other end of the year, and we're at that kind of midway point thanks for being in July. And man, there's still huge announcements coming out, and we still got our games dropping this later this year. We got like brand new adventures, we got remakes, remasters, and it's just a mix of so many like deep dives into some of the older little remasters. We got wild sci-fi stuff, and honestly there's something for literally everybody, so trying to keep track of all that can feel like it's a full-time job in a sense. So that's where I come in, because today we're going to walk through some of the most anticipated, most exciting RPGs that are confirmed for 2025, and some of those RPGs I am definitely very can't wait for. These games you absolutely need to just have on your radar. Keep them in mind. I've been digging through all the trailers, the previews, some of the announcements, just to bring you, the essential info. So like when they're coming out, what platforms you can expect them on, and just what makes each one of them so special. So what I need you to do, grab a drink, grab a snack, sit down, relax, because let's talk about the RPGs that are going to take over our lives and be digging in our pockets in 2025. Starting out, a couple of heavy hitters, let's talk about the release the fans dreaming of for decades. We have Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. After years of rumors, Square Enix is finally bringing this masterpiece back on September 30th, 2025 for PS4 and 5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and as well as Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. And of course, this isn't just a simple port, it's a complete comprehensive remaster of the 1997 strategy RPG classic. Now, the big news is that this package includes two distinctive ways to play the game. Of course, if you want to play the most modern day aspect, you can play the enhanced version, which basically gives you the beautifully updated graphics, a modernized UI, and for the first time, full voice acting that will bring the entire story of Ramza and the Lion War to life like never before. It also has quite quality of life updates like adjustable difficulty, battle speed controls, but if you're a purist, don't worry, there's also a classic mode that preserves the original gameplay and the original visuals as well, paired with the beloved translation from the War of Lions edition. It is honestly the definitive way to experience one of the greatest tactical RPGs ever made. Next, to go along with that, something that I've been kind of keeping my eye on, because I really like my roguelike action. We have the adventure of Towa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree. Now, this is a brand new roguelite action RPG from Bandai Namco. It's launching around September 19th, 2025 for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and the Nintendo Switch. This game stands out immediately with its stunning hand-drawn anime art style and a world that is steeped in mysticism. You play as Towa, a priestess tasked with defending her village from her evil god named Magatsu. To do this, you'll team up with one of the 8 unique guardians for each run through the game's dangerous corrupted lands. The combat is thrilling dance where you combine the powers of 2 different characters, one that wields a sacred sword and the other a magical staff, to unleash powerful attacks with deep weapon crafting, character bonds to develop in your village, and both single player and co-op modes. This looks like an incredibly fresh and beautifully new IP for action RPG fans. And those two right there, we got a lot more on the list, but those two right there is just like, man, this was one of the reasons why I really like gaming, and it's just like I'm just scratching the surface here for the next course of the rest of this year. But I want to know what's jumping out at you guys so far, like between these two games. Like, are you really feeling the Final Fantasy Tactics? Are you feeling more Towa? As all my people who've been wanting a remaster Tactics, how are you feeling? I just want to know what you are looking at. But if there's any other games that I have not named on this list, just let me know what you're most hyped about in the comments section below. And if you're enjoying the video so far, just make sure to subscribe, man, so you don't miss out on more coverage of 2025's biggest games. Moving on, we have the most anticipated sequels and remasters, man. Let's talk, man. We got to talk about it. So starting off, we have another trip in the crazy space game Outer Worlds 2. This is set to launch for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S on October 29th, 2025. Developed by Obsidian Entertainment, this sequel to the, darkly funny 2019 RPG is being made with a much bigger budget and full support of Xbox Game Studios. The trailers have been hilarious, leaning into the self-aware humor that made the first game such a hit. This time, we're off to a whole new solar system called Arcadia. With a new crew and a brand new character to create, you're an agent sent to investigate mysterious phenomena that are threatening the entire colony. You could expect the same great first-person RPG gameplay with the mix of shooting, sneaking, deep dialogue trees where your choices actually matter. Given Obsidian's track record, which by far one of my favorite games by Obsidian is Fallout New Vegas, this is poised to be another fantastic reactive sci-fi adventure that's bigger and better in every way. Now, I do know that there's a lot of controversy surrounding the overall price tag of Outer Worlds 2, and it seems like Xbox is really pushing for those $80-$90 games that they're really trying. So Outer Worlds 2 will have to do a lot to overall make sure that players really are getting what they paid for. So hopefully they can get it set up. But let's move on over to the next game that I have on this list. 2025 is going to be just an incredible year specifically for some of my classic JRPG fans, with two iconic series getting a modern makeover. First, after years and years of waiting, we have the Digimon story series is making its grand return with Digimon Time Stranger. Now, this is launching October 3rd, 2025 for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. Now, it's been a long time since I last touched a Digimon game, but actually looking at the trailers for this really made me very excited. I'm like, damn, I really need to play this game, because this marks the first time a story game will be available on an Xbox platform. So that's a little something different, The story kicks off after a massive explosion levels a city. You, an agent for a secret organization, are thrown 8 years into the past to unravel the mystery of the world's impending collapse. The game moves away from the cyberspace of, cyber sleuthing and puts you right into a brand new digital world called Iliad, where the powerful Olympus, the 12, are central to the story. You explore a more interactive world, collect over 450 Digimon for dynamic turn-based battles, and as well as enjoy the story with both English and as well as Japanese voice acting. Then, on top of that, not only are we getting that October 3rd, not even 3 weeks after the fact, we get greatness. On October 30th, 2025, Square Enix is giving us Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake for all major platforms. Using that gorgeous graphical style from Octopath Traveler, this collection completely rebuilds the first two games in the legendary franchise. These remakes will bring the original stories of the Erdrick trilogy to life with a mix of charming pixel art, beautiful 3D environments, along with some much needed gameplay updates. Whether you're a lifelong fan or a total newcomer, these remasters are a perfect way to celebrate JRPG's history and the impact that it has on the gaming industry. Now, moving on to some high-end type stuff, we got something that's actually coming out, and actually at the point of me making this video, a week from now, we have an entirely punishing trip into Chinese mythology with Wuchang Fallen Feathers, a game that I've been on my radar for a lot. It's actually one of my top games I can't wait to get my hands on. But it's a Souls-like action RPG launching on July 24th, 2025. It's coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and it will be on Game Pass day one. The game is set in the late Ming Dynasty, where a plague known as feathering is turning people into horrifying monsters. You play as Bai Wuchang, a pirate who wakes up with amnesia but is also infected with this disease, which gives her strange powers. The combat looks incredibly fast, challenging. Every time I look at new trailers about this game, it really just gets me hype, especially for that wuxia style of fighting. And it's going to be very similar to the combat from Phantom Blade Zero as well, another game that is on my radar. But Wuchang combines melee weapons with, firearms and supernatural abilities to, you get from the plague. The developers are promising a non-linear adventure where you could tackle bosses in any order, leading to multiple different endings. And when Wuchang Fallen Feathers is built on Unreal Engine 5, so the game trailers have looked amazing. The gameplay that I've seen has looked phenomenal, and this actually just has a potential to be massive breakout hit for Souls-like fans, especially after the success of Black Myth Wukong. And I'm a huge history nerd. I really love Chinese mythology and other mythologies around the world, so it's actually just great to see games getting that amount of attention. Somebody got to keep up with God of War, but let's talk about the latest action RPG that's also been on my list that I feel like I've been waiting quite an eternity for just to come out, because Lost Soul Aside is finally, oh my god, it's finally coming out. It is set to release August 29th, 2025 for PS5 and PC. This whole thing started as a solo passion project by developer Yang Bing and has since blossomed to a full-blown title with the backing of Sony. Now, when you initially look at this game, people have been comparing it to Final Fantasy, Devil May Cry, and it's easy to see why. Just taking one look at it, that's your initial look. The slick visuals, the fast combo heavy combat. You play as a guy named Kaiser, who along with his dragon companion Arena has fought off mysterious invaders to save the world. The combat is clearly the main event here, letting you chain together flashy attacks, switch weapons on the fly, and after a very long wait, this game looks polished and ready to deliver on years of hype. For anyone who loves stylish character action RPGs, this is one you got to check out. So there you have it, an absolutely incredible lineup of RPGs that are going to make 2025 a year to remember. And trust me, there is a lot more games that is coming out than the rest of this year. So we got a lot of massive sequels, beautiful remasters of all time, classics, some really exciting new games that could become the next big thing. There's so much variety here with an adventure waiting for everyone, just every type of RPG fan. Now, I do want to hear from you. Which game on this list are you clearing for your calendar? Is there a game I missed that you think deserves to be on here? Let me know your most anticipated RPG of 2025 down in the comments. I love reading your thoughts and getting the conversation going. But if you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay on top of all the biggest games coming out, then be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, and as always, Outcast, I need you to stay safe out there because it's been your host, Chaos DTV, signing out. Peace.